Yeah, and then
Mhm.
yeah, and then let's talk about the Willie and the Armsteads, okay?
Yeah.
Shannon,
Mhm.
take good
Yeah.
notes.
The, yes, and we're gonna talk about Otis. Let's just talk about all of them. Otis, Otis.
Oh yeah, don't forget Otis. Oh yes, I don't want you to have one of them, but yeah,
No, no, no,
uh-huh.
no. But let's start with Armstead. How you described him actually in the book, and I had to highlight that. I was each people, but I want to read to you a little bit of what Miss Ruth described Armstead as. Um I thought, yet I was still captivated by his lack of expression and stately manner. There was something alluring about him, and I simply could not tear my eyes away. I didn't believe in love at first sight then, and I didn't still when my heart raced the first time I truly set eyes on Armstead Walker. A regular at the Independent Order of St. Luke meetings, Armstead was well dressed in a dark suit and bow tie. At this point, I was imagining how he looked, okay? I was like, yes, come on, Armstead. Sitting quietly at the back of the room when he caught my eye. His upright, muscular frame was very distinguishable from where I stood on the podium. He was a handsome man with a thick mustache and a face so smooth it appeared waxed. However, it was rare that I ever noticed him smiling because he always seemed to maintain a stoic countenance. I wasn't sure if it was his demeanor or his beauty, but the crowd surrounding him seemed very ordinary in comparison. This was certainly not the first time I had that feeling when he was in attendance. So when
Mm.
I was reading it, I was like, Maggie, that's your man, girl. If he's not yours, he's mine.
Well,
Like,
we got God said to write your plans down and what you want.
yes, I was like,
And so, put the characteristics you want down and
mhm.
believe that that's going to be the person that you meet.
Our gatherers is that Maggie Lena Walker was friends with W.E.B. Du Bois, with Booker T. Washington, and for my Floridians, Mary McLeod Bethune. That was
Mhm.
her best friend. Maggie Lena Walker's best friend was Mary McLeod Bethune. So why in Florida have we not heard about Maggie Lena Walker? Why haven't we heard about her? She will write to Mary McLeod Bethune after she closed the Emporium. Mary McLeod Bethune came up to Virginia and visited her for a couple of weeks. I think she stayed for like 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Might as well say she was the godchild of her children. She was the godmother of her children. She stayed in Maggie's house for 2 weeks. W.E.B. Du Bois, no, Booker T. Washington stayed in her house for a couple of days. She
Mhm.
will write to them if she had issues of concern. She will write to them and they will write back to her. They will come and visit her. Miss Daniels.
I was gonna say she jumped on Miss Daniels. I'm going at to what 60 years of marriage. So
But Miss James, they do lie, don't you?
Just would like to thank you, Sora, for writing this book, and I just really enjoy it because I'm just a lover of history. Number one, Black history. Number one, history. Period. Women. Period. Economics and all of those things. I'm just intrigued by all of that, and I enjoyed your book so much that I basically read using the Audible tool, and many of you may know I walk in the morning, so I listen to your book twice while out
Oh
there
my God.
walking. The point I wanted to say earlier, when about Maggie Lena and her relationship with the governor and all of that, that his wife was jealous of their
Oh
relationship.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, like I said, I just cannot say enough about how thrilled I am about this book, and I'm looking forward to some more coming about, and really getting her name out there about it. I've been talking to people about the book myself and sharing commentary with people, and I'm just really thankful. Okay.
Marsha, Sora Marsha.
Sarah Ruth, thank you for joining us this evening. We've talked about the book in depth after reading it, LaShannon. We had the discussion. We went through these parts or whatever. I was quiet today, but it is a must read for us as a people because we're going through the same things now. It's just a different time. Like Pat said, women weren't able to do a lot of things. You know, we were back there in the days. I've picked cotton. I've worked in the fields. I've had to, coming from Miami, had to say yes ma'am and no ma'am, where I was used to saying yes and no. So coming a long ways, we still aren't there yet, but it is a must read for our teenage daughters so that they know where they're going, our adult daughters, so that they know that they can continue doing what they're doing. But Sora Ruth, I've complimented you on it before. I'm gonna compliment you today. Continue doing the work that you're doing. It is an awesome read for everybody that's on here today.
Thank you.
It really is. And
It really is.
one last,
I'd like to say that thank you for the book, Miss Ruth.
Thank
But
you.
well, agreed.
definitely. Miss Hilda, you listened to the book on Audible. What do you think?
Same. I I was so enthralled by her
Mhm.
that I couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I went through that book in one day because I could not put
You
it down.
sound like me, Miss Hilda.
I could honestly, I couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
My family kept looking at me and I just kept shooing them away because
Mhm.
I could not stop listening.
So I thank all of you guys for your time. And remember that beautiful things happen when we gather. Thanks for tuning in to our first conversation in Black with author Ruth P. Watson of A Right Worthy Woman. Woo!
Thank you.